Welcome everyone to another installment of Deltek's video blog series recognizing Social Media Week. I'm Alexandra Houghton, an analyst for the General Government team, and this is my colleague Derek Johnson. Welcome, Derek.
Absolutely.
Today we're going to be discussing Derek's blogs on how social media has already changed the way we communicate with the government. So let's jump right into this. So Citizen to Government Technology, or CG2C, has been around for a long time. So can you go ahead and tell us how social media has changed that platform and how it's developed over time?
Yeah, absolutely. So G2C technology has really matured over the last 5 years. At first, it was really used just as almost an extension of the government's current public relations or communications platforms. The kind of content that they put out was not so different from what you would see on a government's website or put out on a press release to newspapers, which is fine. It's another forum for them to get their message out, and especially to the younger generation. But they really did not utilize the unique aspects of social networking to integrate that into their government response. And improve upon the old model. Where social media technology really distinguishes itself is in its ability to create real-time interaction between people within a community and the people who are responsible for maintaining and improving that community. So I'll give you a couple of examples. San Francisco currently integrates a wide variety of social media platforms into their 311 system, Facebook, Twitter, and it's not like that they just set up a Facebook page or have a Twitter feed. They really use it as almost a virtual help desk where citizens can go and type in questions, and they will monitor those pages and coordinate them with the correct government agencies or departments that they need to fulfill that request. The City of Chicago has a mobile phone app that will link up to people who are going in the same direction downtown and actually allow them to split cab fare. Boston and a whole bunch of other cities have developed applications such as there's an application out there where you can take your phone, you can take a photo of a pothole outside your street, you can upload that to a database in the Public Works Department, and then that will create a ticket that will notify the city that they need to go in there and fill it within a certain amount of time, and it just works really, really well and really, really efficiently.
So we're pretty far into the social media revolution at this point. Is there any more room for growth?
Yeah, well, this is really something that has taken off exponentially, not just in the 10 years since the social media revolution really began, but even in the last couple of years. There was a pair of University of Illinois studies that were done between 2009 and 2011 that looked at social media government use for the top 75 largest cities in the United States. And what they found was that social media use by governments for the top platforms that are out there, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc., that overall usage among that sample actually rose anywhere from 250 to 600%, depending on the platform, and that's just between 2009 and 2011. That's really pretty amazing if you think about it. The study also identified open data portal technology as really being one of the future growth engines for G2C and social media use by governments in the future. If you think about open data portals, a lot of times they need to be customized. They're not something that you can really just buy off the shelf or adapt from the currently available free technologies. So that's really an area that I see personally as one where the governments are going to be looking for private sector help and private sector support down the line to kind of build those portals out. In 2011, just 12 of the top 75 cities reported using open data portal technology within their government operations, but that's actually a pretty large leap from the 2009 study where usage was almost unheard of within the 75 largest cities. So you can see that there's been a pretty large shift towards that in the last couple of years, but there's still a lot of room to grow, and that's just within the large cities and localities out there. They typically act as trailblazers and as examples for a lot of the smaller localities out there that kind of follow in their wake.
So does this technology work well across the board, or are there certain areas of government where it's more effective than others?
Yeah, so the two areas in government functions where it operates the best are really disaster and emergency management operations, as well as certain functions in higher education. I'll start with emergency management. It has just had a dramatic effect on the way that public safety agencies respond to large-scale emergencies, large-scale weather events, snowstorms, blizzards, tornadoes, terrorist attacks, things like mass shootings. It's really a sweet spot for the technology in the sense that it provides the government and the affected population the ability to have real-time coordination and interaction with each other in situations where an hour can be the difference between really life and death. When traditional modes of communication are down, like phone lines, land-based internet services, the ability to communicate through social media platforms or existing wireless functions are really, really crucial. Twitter, because it's just of who uses it and how direct and uncomplicated the messaging is back and forth, is really well suited towards emergency management. In addition to providing kind of immediate updates on sort of fast-changing environments where, again, an hour of delay can be a huge difference. It really serves to create a very fast information snowball effect between the message that the government wants to put out and the affected population. It's also really helpful because the people who are most likely to use Twitter are people between the ages of 18 and 44, which if you're thinking about trying to get the message out, for people to go out there and push cars in a snowstorm or, go door to door and help elderly people evacuate during a flood, that's really the population that you want to hit in situations like that.
And what about higher education?
Yeah, so higher education is really another area that we see as a potential growth factor for social media public sector use. A recent study showed that over 2/3 of faculty actually use social media on a regular basis, on a monthly rolling basis. Just under half actually report using it for strictly professional purposes, and just over 1/3 discuss using it in classroom settings, which doesn't sound like a lot, but there is a very, very strong age correlation with all of those figures that I just cited. So 30-year-old professors are using these technologies at much higher rates than 40-year-old professors. 40-year-olds are using them at much higher rates than 50-year-olds, so on and so on. And so what you can see is that there really is over time going to be more and more of this integration as kind of younger people who have grown up using the technology all their lives get to use it in a classroom setting. According to a 2012 Pew study of the top social media technologies that were used in the classroom, blogs and wikis were number 1, podcasts were number 2, and Facebook was number 3. Platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter actually had really, really low usage rates, which to me says that faculty and teachers really haven't figured out how to use these technologies or how to integrate them into their teaching curriculum just yet. The greatest potential for contractor involvement with higher education social media is with things like social media management software, as well as applications that can supplement off-class learning, virtual learning, things like that. Think of sort of a low-tech version of Blackboard, apps where you can connect teachers, students, and teaching resources all off of one device. There are a lot of technological trends that are in play here that are really driving this, whether it's virtual learning, bring your own devices, online universities that are all really working together to push the need for people to connect to their teaching resources over great distances. Social media and social networking functions, they really already have a sort of a permanence in the marketplace. Everyone from the students to the teachers to the to citizens, they understand how to use it and they're familiar with using it. As we kind of become more and more integrated with these social media technologies, it's going to become more and more viable to find ways to use technology and get contractor involvement in these processes moving forward.
Thank you for that analysis, Derek.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we'll release another video blog series for Social Media Week.